Hello, my name is Gemma. I am a criminologist, advanced occultist, mother of two. So in this one, I'd just like to say if anyone is there looking to attack me or my family, I return that back onto you times 10. And if anyone has ever done that to me, then it goes back onto you times 10. Person who's done it. Right, so I'm glad that's over. Nearly. So basically what I want to do is I want to get into understanding how we can go into occult topics, Kabbalic understandings of spiritual realms, if you like, and just understand some parameters, like to understand these things that have happened, why things are happening, like as also like aspects of messages and downloads, like what type of things it can sort of mean, and also ancestry and stuff like this. So we are in the age of Aquarius, so this is like programmable states of mind. Okay, I've spoke about this, about how it's tech ordained state. So if you haven't watched it, there's 2 to go on to that, to listen to that, because it's like a follow on from this kind of topic. So I want to be talking about programs in this one, okay? I also want to let you know about the inspiration where you might be getting these downloads. I'm going in. So in this one, now I really want to get into it. We can have spiritual experiences in our lives where we are sort of maybe seeing into a future. I've heard this, like a clairvoyance, or like certain things that are taking place in our lives that are a foreseeable thing, like a clairvoyance, like I've said. And, you know, it's questionable. I've questioned this before as well in some of my videos, that basically this can happen through our life events, and people can just get downloads. You know, there's people who do it online, their mediumship abilities and stuff, where they also talk to spirits, if you like, and that they're meant to be passed over and things like this, which I'll get into in a minute. But I'm a Pisces. I have a Pisces sun, Pisces moon. I have a Pisces Venus, Pisces North Node. So I'm Pisces, very Pisces person, which means obviously, you know, they say you're more spiritual and stuff like this. But I'm also an Aquarius, Mercury, right? So I've got quite a lot of placements in Pisces, so I can understand Pisces. But I also have different placements as well, like Mercury and Aquarius and things like this. So I can sort of like see where people are coming from with the spiritual aspects of this, but I can also see more of an Aquarius nature. I can see different things because where my Mercury sits. So I want to bring this together and like talk about how we can get into those topics, those ideas, so you see where I'm coming from, so that, you know, you don't just get lost in it. But it's more of a Pisces and an Aquarius conversation that I'm going to be having with you all. All right, so let's just get into the programs of stuff. So when we come to like programic states, like this could be our visions. Maybe we might get visions, we might have understanding of visions, and, you know, it might just come to you. Right, so the program states are 5D, create spaces. It's in 5D, 5th dimension. What's this? It's astral realms, right? So I'm not telling you to hurt me, but I'm just saying so you understand what's going on around here. Do, right? And it's annoying because people don't know what's going on, and you think you know and you don't, and it's really irritating me. Okay? So you have 5D creative spaces, whatever. But you also have like experiences from like a 4th dimensional concept, and you got angels taking them zones. So you got to really understand now there's 4D, which is balls of ideas, right? So I know what you've done in that respect, because you can inject like things onto people through their kundalini, which is happening. Do you understand what that means? So let's just get into the programmable states that can take place, because loads of stuff's going on right now, and it's so obvious as well. And I'm being attacked personally, and there's just like a gang of you, and it's a bit weird. You're obsessed or something. Anyway, so it's almost like there's spiritual realms. There's things taking place in spiritual realms where it's almost like ideas are being dropped into people to go against certain people, targeted individuals, right? So you have a target. So, for example, if you had a targeted individual spiritually, everyone would go against that person because they'd get told lies about them in spiritual realms, and your ancestors might tell you and whatever. And it's a load of absolute garbage. So let's get into spirits. Who are they? Well, they're human beings. They're not dead, because when you die, you go back up. You leave. You go to heaven. Okay, that's the concept. You go to heaven, right? So obviously you have to recycle somewhere, don't you? So where are you recycling? In heaven. Right. So I don't believe that spirits stay here. I don't believe it. And I think if they do, it's in a time, space reality where you can go back to. But you can only go back to it so many times before it starts getting rewrite. Because that's the concept of having spiritual experiences. You can't keep going back to that moment. Okay? And that's true. Because it's almost like it's already been done. It's gone. Right? So we can understand that, when you realise that you can only go so far back in your memory bank type thing, it just gets rewritten. It can get rewritten. That's how you can lose your memory. That's how it can get voided. This is what they do. And it's not like you're dead, okay? It's not like they're dead. They're still here. So it'll be the spirits that are here, controlling the world. So you're the puppets, right? No offence, but all you need to do is turn you against another person who you're supposed to like connect with, and sever that connection, and then make you two fight. It's called triangulation tactics. Okay, this is narcissistic abuse, psychopathic tendencies, and it's almost like you end up fighting each other on a spiritual warfare concept to do what? Break you all down, right? So this is what's happening, in my opinion. And everyone talks about spiritual warfare, but no one's really talking about this. And then you get programmed states where things are rewritten, or you put somebody else there and you put somebody else there, and Joe Blogs now is bloody somebody else, right? And it might be a past memory. They've accessed it because it's spiritual, 4D ideas, and it's just been rewritten. So this is spiritual warfare tactics that they're doing. And you've got really strong magicians out there. Okay, I haven't practiced baneful magic, and my understanding of what I understand as being a black magician is different to what other people might consider. Okay, so it doesn't mean you're practicing baneful magic just because you're a black magician, because it's the Kabbalic understanding. This is how I understood it through the tarot cards. This is how I took it from my own personal understanding. That's why I'm showing it to you now and sharing it to you, so that you can understand where I'm coming from, so that I'm speaking, I'm telling you what I believe in, what's good for this world, things like this, right? So when people attack me, for example, and I have no idea why this is happening, and then it's almost like, what is the point? So this is an example, like, if everyone's attacking me, what is the point? Why are you doing this? Okay? Why are you so obsessed with me? What is your problem? You got a problem with me? What is it? Because I haven't done anything wrong. So anyway, I started practicing baneful magic not long ago because of this. And I'm not saying that it's like because I'm doing it to protect myself now. So we can do it in different ways. So let's get into this, understanding that there's program states that are programmable. So it's like an Aquarius nature. It's tech ordained, but it's like a nano state. Okay? Which no one's going to tell you. Because they don't want you to know. They don't want you to know what they're doing. So there's also aspects of control where they use Kundalini. You have to clear yourself out constantly. Why? Because they don't want you to trust yourself. And I have answers as well. And I'm trying to provide it. So you're not going to want to listen to me if you think I'm bad or you're against me for whatever reason. You're just going to ignore me. You're just going to, oh, she's talking rubbish because we always knew this to be this way. Well, everything's changed now, especially since COVID. Everything's changed. And you lot know it, right? So you've got, in my own understanding and appearances, there's programmable states where it can be switched and changed. Okay? So there's no point. It's almost like, oh, we can't do anything about it now, just keel over and not do anything. It's like, no, it doesn't work like that. Right? So there's another one as well. And we have to understand that nobody's perfect and we're all progressing. So if you've done something wrong to somebody that didn't deserve it, okay, that wasn't them, you need to right your wrongs. You need to reverse that quickly. Because let me tell you now, if you are going round doing that to other people, it's going to come back onto you tenfold. And it is as well. Because it will do a full circle. And I'm just being honest. And the fact is, as well, is that I'm trying to tell you about spiritual warfare. I've seen things now spiritually that go beyond an aspect of, like, because I'm not like, I shouldn't really be talking about this stuff because I have another sort of mission in my life. And it's almost like this is kind of, should be someone else should be saying this, and they're not. And it's annoying. Because I'm not supposed to be doing this. I'm supposed to be doing other things, which I'm speaking about in my videos. So let's get into so I went through spirits. They're actually, living now. I went through how ancestors come back for you through 5D created spaces, so you can remember that time when your granny was sat there at, giving you advice. You can go back to that idea of what would she say if I was in that position now, type thing, right? That's all you're doing. And it's kind of true, right? Because if you can't, because I've never had ancestors come back to me, never. I haven't. That's fact. And I'm Pisces, Sun, Moon, Venus, North Node, Pisces. Never had this experience. So, yeah, just because you haven't had it, it means that you're not special, you're not gifted. No, it doesn't mean that. It just means that some people can see into the future, okay? Because you can rise out your body and see. This is an understanding of being a clairvoyant. But to be a medium, I don't believe that. I think that's a different thing. So I think everything can be discombobulated. I think everything can be confusing because you've got to think we're in a different world. We're not in where our ancestors used to be back in the day, right? There's different other things to connect, like programs. Programmable states as well. So you've had nanotechnology inside of you, COVID jabs. Well, you're all going to be kind of similar. I ain't had one. Have you? Right? Have you? Ask yourself that. Have you had it? Because people are a lot different. Anyway, it's for another time. So we have to realise that we've gone into a different state, right? I think someone talks about cloning people. This is like a spiritual significance, It's more. I think when people are talking about clones and stuff like this, I think that's more of a spiritual significance. Like, that's not me type things. Like someone commenting, that's not me. That someone's telling you to email me or WhatsApp me or whatever. That's not me. I'm not gonna do that. So it's kind of like that, but in a spiritual concept. So always got to be careful about, before you jump the gun, you have to be careful about what's going on, who's doing this, what's behind that mask. Okay? Like, what is behind the mask? What's behind that person? And, a lot of the times, I don't think people can understand this and digest this concept. And I'm to bring it to you, specifically, to let you know that I wouldn't go around destroying people's lives, okay? Because I have my own little life. I've got my own little life. Got my own little things to do. So I'm not going to go around attacking you, and you can say that just because you're an evil person and you give it all your bad due to other people, because it's not going to work like that anymore, right? Because I know what you do and I know how you've done it. Okay? And you've triangulated very important, strong individuals in this society to fight each other, and then there's one man up the top laughing. And it's not you lot. Because you're all being downloaded certain things. And you're all being shown stuff that ain't true. So you become a target as well. So everyone becomes a target. And, some people will stay quite high or rise, or some people might fall, because it's what you've believed in. It's what you supported originally. And then you get took out, and then everyone gets triangulated so that we don't stick up for each other. So we all end up on our own with nobody. And it's almost like everyone's messed everyone up. And all they had to do was just triangulate it. And then that's it. So to come and show you as an aspect of who I am individually is speaking on here, because you can see who I am, see what kind of personality I have, see who I am. You can't just read in somebody going, oh, I know her because this and this and this. Like, as a clairvoyant, I can see things too sometimes. It doesn't mean I'm going to judge that solely on that experience. I question everything I do. I sit back and go, does that feel right? Well, So I always question things, because that's the logical side. So we can't just go solely into our intuition, because that's like an inversion of the Kabbalah. Because for example, I don't know where it is, but it's like the dark side is intuition, and then the light side is like logic. It's like the brain concept. So we can understand that we can use our intuition, but we have to have logic as well. Because if you're not using both sides of your brain, then you're not going to understand it. And then you can just use solely that side of your brain. Yeah, you can sometimes, but you have to use your logic as well. Otherwise, nothing makes sense. And I learned this because obviously I went to school and did education, and you have to find facts. There has to be an aspect of logic in there all the time. You can't just sit there and go crazy off your intuition and that's it. It doesn't work like that. Because then it doesn't make sense. And then you're sitting there thinking, oh, none of this makes sense. No, because it doesn't, because it's bloody probably rubbish. So you've got 6th-dimensional concepts where you can look down and have an observation and understand what might, from that logic and that intuition. It's like a 6th-dimensional space to stand back on. So it's almost like there's 5D and it's all been messed about with, and bits have been. It's like a movie. Put 5D created spaces. Oh, we'll put this there, and then we'll put it all together, and then we'll change it. There's obviously an overarching factor taking place, and it's really about taming that, because somebody's obviously, playing the magician. So we all fight each other in spiritual warfare. So this is how I'm trying to bring it to you, so you can kind of grasp what different things are going on in this universe, if you like. Because there's a lot of destruction that's taking place on these planes as well. And it's really devastating, because we have wars going on, for example, and it's being plastered all over the news and everyone's looking at it. And it's sad, very sad. It brings down the vibration of every human being on the planet. So no one's happy, and if you're showing a face, then it's not going to last, because you don't even know what's going on yourselves, and it's scary. It's kind of scary stuff, right? So we have to really understand now who is controlling these zones. Because I'm getting downloads as an understanding, future perspective, looking into astrology, stuff like this. I can see certain things that might take place, right? But if you are seeing and delving into other people's lives, you don't actually know what's going on. You're getting attacked, and it was not even that person. Well, they don't want you to have a relationship with that person. Why? Because you're probably strong, really, together. You probably have ideas that you can connect. So they're trying to keep you away from that person. And then what is this? An understanding aspect of spiritual warfare, when really it's just triangulation and narcissistic abuse. And you've got one playing factor doing it, so that you don't come together, so that you get false downloads, or you can see in somebody's life, but you're not going to help them. Because I've seen people being taken out now just by coming and helping me. People get taken out by helping me. I'm not even joking either. So, let me tell you now. I have a very strong astrological points. Like, everyone's got points. Some people have like 500 in the whole astrology. I've got like 2,396, I think. I got 2,963 or something like that. And I'm like looking at it, I'm thinking, bloody hell. I'm like, this is really high stuff, but I've never had anything. And now I'm thinking back, maybe it's because I've been spiritually attacked all my life. No, this is why I say we can go back for each other. We can go back for each other in a good way, but we go back for each other in a bad way as well. But it's not because it's because somebody's done that. Somebody's chosen to do this. Like in a bad way by counselling somebody, or you can do it in that concept, like going back in memory or whatever. But it's also a spiritual warfare concept to it. There's a bigger overarching understanding to this. That's 7. 7 knows, right? And it's because they triangulate it. They make it look like you're bad and you're not. And then they do it to both of you. And then it just looks like whoever's got the most views, the most following, the most whatever, they win. It's like, what? This don't work like that, does it? Let's be honest. You know how to take people's stuff from them. And then you think you're taking a moral high ground by doing that, because of something that they were supposed to have done in a spiritual realm, and it weren't even them. Think about this like this and just appreciate it. Not for me, but for your kin. For the kin. For the kids. For God's sake. Anyway, I'm done. My name is Gemma Haley. I am a criminologist, an advanced occultist, and a mother of two. And if you like my content, like and subscribe, and there'll be more.